It's about the time when we bring you our weekly conversations on power solutions right here on Nigeria's number one for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Well, my name is Collins Teke. I'm being joined live by my co-host on the show today, Wiebe, Dr. Wiebe Boer, and our special guests. Now, I always love it when Wiebe gets to bring the guest on because he has this special effect of, telling us the most amazing things about our guests. And I look forward to making major announcements today. But first, let me bring Wiebe. Hi, Wiebe. How are you today? Good to have you join us.
I'm good, Collins. How are you? How are you today? I'm happy to say that after all this time, I am actually back in Lagos. I know we never said it on air, but I've been doing this show from the U.S. all this time.
Absolutely.
Getting up at 5 a.m. to join you. So now this is it's actually 11:30 a.m. for me. So I'm happy to be in the same city. Hopefully next week I'll even be in the studio if you guys let me.
That would be great. That would be fantastic. Good to have you back in town. Man, a lot to catch up
All
with.
right.
But we do have a guest today, don't we?
Yes. Okay, so we have a very special guest today, and Collins, you also know her. But just as a reminder to guests, interestingly enough, our guest today was the first guest on Power Solutions when we started the show. It was actually about exactly 2 years ago. So then we were all coming into the studio. She came down from Abuja, joined us in the studio, and did the show. So 2 years later, we're happy to welcome back Ifeoma Malo, the CEO of the Clean Technology Hub. So, Ife, glad to have you on.
Thank you, Collins. Great to see you guys.
Yes, and Collins, Ife is the star of this sector, and so it's actually really hard to get her on. So now that we can do this remotely, to get her to come to Lagos and join us, it would be 5 years, but this way we were able to get her on. So, all right. So, but let's kick it off because I know there's listeners out there who are waiting to hear the prize winners of the program that Ife led.
Yeah.
But let's kick it off this way. So Ife, you're widely acknowledged as one of the leaders and experts of the Nigerian power sector. Can you just give us a bit of your own personal background and how you came to become kind of such a leader in this space? Ife, are you there?
All right, I guess we'll have a network challenge with her visual as well as a sound. Well, we need to fix that. Yes, indeed. Lovely to know that you're still there. We'll try to fix that technical stuff and move on with the conversation. It's Power Solutions, indeed. And, okay, Ife's back. Ife, are you there?
All right, there we go. We heard you for a second.
Yeah. Ife, can you hear us? Are you with us?
We can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect.
Great,
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right. Did you hear the question, Ife?
Can you repeat the question? I lost you when you were just asking.
Yes. So what I was just saying is, you're now widely acknowledged as one of the leaders in the power sector space in Nigeria, one of the experts. Can you just give us a bit of background on how you got to that point where you are now if not one of the leading voice of the power sector in Nigeria?
Well, thank you for hyping me, Wiebe. I don't know that I'm one of many. I think there are many people who are actually taking leadership positions in the sector. But to answer your question, I think there's been a bit of stubbornness in the way that I've seen the Nigerian power sector, because I see it as the sector that has the potential to unleash development in every other sector. So while I started off doing a lot of regulatory and policy stuff, I've found myself doing a lot more work around enterprise development, which is some of what we're going to talk about today. And also doing a lot of commercial transaction, trying to get new businesses started or new businesses and investments into the country, working with partners like Olon. So that's been my trajectory. Started off as a policy and regulatory expert, but have since broadened that sphere over the past, 3-4 years.
Fantastic.
All right.
Growing local off-grid energy solutions is our focus, and Ifeoma Malo is our guest. She just answered the first question from Wiebe, who's my co-host. And mine is coming right up. Now, tell us briefly about Clean technology hub, and the role you play, and how did you even start the organization?
Collins, I started this organization out of frustration. No, it was I was working for government. I was working for the Nigerian government for many years. I think from 2011 to 2015, and around that time, we had a lot of things going on, but all of them were focused on the grid. There was all of the work going on with the new NIPP power plants. There was the work going on with Mambila and Shiroro. There were all of these large-scale grid-based projects, but we didn't quite see. And then there was, of course, the privatization that was going on at the same time. But we didn't also then see a commensurate rise in the amount of new connections we had, or the new amount of megawatts that was being generated. And at the same time, we had a lot of young, smart people who were coming in through our offices and saying that they had this idea around renewable energy, off-grid energy access. They wanted to build mini grids. And we hadn't quite developed a framework to support, anything in the off-grid sector at the time. So I started thinking, okay, so how do we match these two things together? The fact that we need new connections and the fact that there are young, smart people willing to take the risk to go to remote communities and build smart grids. And that's how Clean Tech Hub started. And I'm a co-founder. I have other founders, and I'm currently the CEO. So that's a bit of the history of the hub. It was just out of frustration. How do we get more people, to get electricity? And that's it. That's where we are today.
All right. So before the next question, Ife, could you kindly turn your device to landscape setting so that we can? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, you might need to. Okay, landscape, but
landscape.
Yes, fantastic.
Is that better?
Yes, but I think you have to check the settings quickly before. So we'll be agitating for the next question. But check. Okay, great. We could fix that.
Okay, all right. So while we're working on fixing that, for our radio listeners who can't see that you're looking sideways to us, so as an early startup incubator for inventions and innovations in clean technology, clean energy in Nigeria, do you think we're doing enough with renewable energy or to support renewable energy in the country?
Are we doing enough? We're doing a lot, but we could certainly do more. I think there's a lot more to be done. And I think, that it's easy to say that now, looking back where we're coming from. We've come a long way from where we were, 6-7 years ago. But we still have a pretty long way to go. I think where we need to sort of focus and hone in on now is trying to see how we're giving more support to the off-grid sector and making it one of the core ways that we're driving, energy access to reach, the most remotest of villages or communities. So, and this is through creating enabling frameworks, but not just creating them, but implementing them, and then enabling the private sector to actually run with this thing. And get out of the way. Not, what I will say this very quickly. One of the biggest issues we're having in the sector is all of these taxes and tariffs that we have from the customs, where people are paying almost, there are new releases that have come out that are saying that people would have to pay up to 20% to import solar panels. That's going to kill the sector, because how are people going to make money if that's what they're paying on duty? So we need to do more. We need to address some of those issues.
Great. So let's tell us about the Clean Technology Incubation and Acceleration Foundation incubation program. I know we make some announcements today, but let's start by knowing more about this.
Okay. So I think what we do 3 or 4 things. We do at Clean Tech Hub, we focus on research and data analysis, because we think that that's how we can drive policy and decision making, So data and research is a core part of what we do. Okay. The other things that we focus on is also looking at, and that's partly this program that we're running with Olon, is looking at how we can drive new enterprises into the sector. So new local enterprises into the sector. And not only the 30 or 40 companies that we've known for a long time that have been doing this work. How do we grow them to 100? How do we grow them to 200? Right? So that's the other thing we do. We run incubation and acceleration programs. Then the third thing that we also do is that we do work with government, support to governments to look at their policies. We've done something again with the support of Olon, where we took all of the very large policy frameworks, regulatory frameworks that have been released and condensed them into easy to digest, easy to understand documents. And that's what a lot of investors are using in terms of getting, the ABCs of what does this regulatory document contain, or what does this policy document contain. So these are some of the work that we've been doing and that we hope to continue to do at the Clean Tech Hub. And then we also do community engagement. A lot of the mini-grid developers come to us and say, we want to build mini-grids, all of these other political things that we have to do, like going to talk to the communities, going to do this, please, can we have outsourced that to you? And we do those things. We support them in that way. So we do a lot of community engagements to teach the community what these mini-grids are and how they can benefit from it in sustainable ways.
Interesting.
Yeah, and actually, Collins, before I ask the next question, just to build on that, I mean, the material they developed, that Ife's team developed, to kind of explain what all of these policies that are already out there mean. Many of the companies in the space didn't even know all of the things they actually had access to already. And so many of them, were going to government asking for one thing or the other and didn't realize that all of that was already provided for in existing policies. So it really helped articulate that very well. But Ife, let's go to the next question. Are you still on? Can you hear us?
Loud and clear, yes.
Okay, fine. All right, so listen, now we're going to talk now about, we're going to pivot to the particular program where you incubated businesses and so on. Can you tell us a bit about that program and specifically how the businesses were selected that got into the program, where you found them, and then how they, the 7 eventually that were selected, how they got selected? What was the process?
Sure. It was a highly transparent process. I have to start off with that, because what we did was we put out a call, a generic call to say, if you're interested in the clean energy sector, you have an idea, you have a solution that you've sort of developed, and you're looking for how to scale it up and get it investment ready, please apply. And, using social media and even traditional media, we put it in the newspapers. We encouraged everybody, especially women, to apply, because we also want more women, entrepreneurs to come into the sector. So that call lasted for, I think, about 2 months or more. And we got, I think, about 107 or 100, almost 107 applications came in within that time period. We sifted the application using criteria that we had already developed with our partners, Olon. And then we had 40 startups that were selected to pitch. We focused on the pitch in 2 states to start off with. One of them was Abia State. So we went to Aba, where people...
All right, looks like we lost her again. Not lost. We didn't lose her sound. Okay, yes. For a moment, it was freezing. For a moment.
Ife, are you there?
Hello, Ife. Can you hear us now? All right, great. So just when we're getting to...
Ife, can you hear us?
I still trying to get that connection right. You are listening to
are you there?
Power Solutions, so Nigeria's #1 for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. And we are live right here. And the conversation is around power, of course. Growing local off-grid energy solutions. That's what we're talking about. And we do have a guest. Her name is Ifeoma Malo. She's the CEO of Clean Technology Hub. And we're getting to the point of a program that they handled recently, which saw about 7 selected finalists, 7 finalists from about 13 businesses. And we'll be getting into that. Is Ify back now?
I'm back.
Oh,
Sorry.
great to have you back. So if we're gradually getting to that point right now, and just before you conclude on your thoughts on the last question, we lost the connection there. Now, you have talked about how you selected the procedures, and of course, I love the fact that you started by saying that it was very transparent, because that's always the question. And how did they arrive at that? Is that someone that know? I love the fact that it was a generic call, and listening to how the procedure, I have no doubt that the very best is what we have here. So we do have the final 7 who were selected from 13 businesses that went through the entire incubation process, selected from 107 businesses. So tell us briefly about these 7 businesses, and what was their unique points, or should I say, what exactly was unique about them, and the ideas.
But don't name them yet. If you don't name them yet, just give us a general overview.
Absolutely,
okay?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so going from 107 to this final 7, we definitely did see a lot of potential, and a lot of quality pitches and demos. But the ones that stood out for us were a portable solar-powered battery system for charging DC gadgets and lightning houses. And this gadget is supposed to address just poor electronic waste management by recycling laptop batteries. So they're using laptop batteries to actually, provide lightning and charge DC gadgets. Another one is a smart gas cylinder meter, monitor and eliminate upfront fuel costs. Then you have another one, which is looking at it's a smokeless biogas powered cook stove. So something that our mothers and our sisters that live in remote communities can easily use, and it's used to maximize the value chain potential of biogas technology, and helping with clean cooking methods for rural Nigeria. Then you have another system, a 4th one, that is looking at reducing the cost of solar systems by providing efficient and affordable transformer-less inverter systems. This is transformer-less. And the way that they are doing this is by providing, inverters that don't use the traditional transformers that we know. Then we have one more that is looking at creating clean gas from waste dumps, and by doing that, eradicating pollution at the same time. So looking at how to provide clean cooking fuels, as gasifiers, to actually help power clean cooking. And then you have another one that's looking at, it's a portable solar powered device that charges mobile phones. You can carry it anywhere. It's like your power bank. But a lot of the components in this system are locally sourced. So they designed and built a mobile and portable solar-powered charging system that you can literally carry anywhere you go. And then the 7th one is actually one that has it's a mini grid. It's a mini grid a mini grid company, and it's looking at how to serve low-income communities without any upfront costs and at very cheap rates of entry. So these are the 7 companies that actually sort of made it through, and the ideas that they actually brought forward that made it possible for them to be the final 7.
Yes. All right. So Collins, before okay, I know you're about to announce them, and then Ify will have to match the name with what they do.
Yes, sir.
But hang on, I have something that we need to do before we announce them.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have been waiting for is here. All 7 of these names you'll be listening to are those who have been selected for a grant to help them do more as far as creating renewable and clean energy is concerned with their solutions. You heard 7 of them. In no particular order, the first on the list to receive a grant of $10,000. Yeah, say that again, Collins. $10,000. I'll call them a champion. First is, yes, a round of applause for that. We have Jambecom, ladies and gentlemen. And we're meant to know that Jambecom is a portable solar-powered battery system for charging DC gadgets and lighting houses. So congratulations to Jambecom. Absolutely. Also on the list, the second is TX1. TX1 is another smart solution, a smart gas cylinder meter to monitor and eliminate upfront fuel costs. Congratulations to TX1. Also on the list, the special list for $10,000. I almost said Naira. Collins, not Naira, it's dollars. We have Ulta Bio Renewables, ladies and gentlemen. Ulta Bio Renewables. Can I get some of those drums? Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Congratulations. And what they do is a smokeless biogas powered cook stove. Oh, I would love that in my home, wouldn't you? Yes, congratulations. Also on the list is Renew Cycle. Renew Cycle is next on the list. Drum roll, somebody. Wonderful. So what they do is they provide efficiency. This solution provides efficient and affordable transformer-less inverter system. Also, we do have Teke on the list, ladies and gentlemen. Teke is next. Some drum for that. Congratulations to Teke. Teke is creating clean gas for waste dumps and eradicating pollution. This is very, very, very impactful and indeed clean energy. Another one here on the list is Hazer Hub. Hazer Hub, responsible for a portable, responsible for a portable power, a solar-powered device that charges mobile phones. Wow. I would need me some of that, don't you? Congratulations. Also, 3 more to go. We have Greenera Technologies on that list, ladies and gentlemen. Some drum for that. Greenera Technology. Aha. Quickly. So what do they do? Or what? What they got is, of course, a portable. They manufactured and the sale of solar standalone systems. Yes, that's really what we need right now. Talking about power solutions. Also on the lists. Oh boy, I think we're done. That's it, 7 of them. Starting from Jambecom down to TX1 to Ulta Bio Renewable, not forgetting Renew Cycle and Teke, Hazer Hub, and Greenera Technologies. All but 7 of them, all over. Well, fantastic indeed. Congratulations to all of them, indeed. Congratulations to all of them. So let me quickly put this question before we run away. Each of them will be getting $10,000 to support these projects, right? Am I correct? $10,000, right? I'm correct, absolutely.
Yes.
So
Correct.
quickly,
Yes.
Correct.
for some entrepreneurs listening to us right now and are being inspired by this, how do they access the support of this hub? And would there be a next incubation?
You don't have to leave home with
Anytime soon?
Yes. Yes. So we will continue to run this program. There is a phase 2. Allon has been very generous to allow us run this as a 2-year program, a 2-year pilot. So starting from January next year, we will put out the call again, and we do encourage women again to actually apply. We were very happy to see a lot of women apply through this round, and a lot of the companies that you just listed out are actually, they have a lot of women on their management team. So January we'll start the second phase. But people who actually want to also follow the work we do at Clean Tech Hub, please follow us on our social media. Follow on their social media.
Yeah.
We're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and then we are also on Facebook. So follow us on our social media. You will know when the call is announced.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm always here to do the announcements and always be here. It's really great to be here, to be a part of this life-changing experiences that you guys bring. And I must take advantage of this to say well done to Allon. Well done to all of you. And yes, behind every of such stories, there's always Allon behind to make sure that it happens.
Well, on this one, Collins, I have to say, behind on this one is the Rockefeller Foundation.
Absolutely.
The Rockefeller Foundation provided the funding. So thank you to them also, and thank you, Ife, for the great work of your team on this.
You see that?
Yeah.
You see that? All these mighty names, and it comes down to a little Collins to do the announcements. Oh man, look at my job. I love it.
So Collins, listen, man. maybe we can do this more often.
Yeah.
If you ever need someone to do drum rolls, let me know. Just give me a call.
Yeah.
I'll come with you. We can be a duo. We can be a team now.
Nice
Yeah, man.
touch.
We're going for the
drum
drum.
roll would be a nice touch. He added a lot of dramatics to it.
I love it. I was waiting for it. I needed to hear it. Man, you didn't tell me you could drum that much. That was really beautiful. We should make this a business, man. Play the drum and shoot for the drummies. Thank you so much to you, and we have to go. Our time is really fast spent. And congratulations again to everyone who has been a part. So take us home, Reba, in 2 seconds.
Okay, that's very short. Thank you very much, Collins, for the great announcements. Congrats to all the winners. Thanks to Rockefeller for funding this. Thanks to Ife and your team for making it a success and for all that you do for this industry. Have a great week.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right, Maya. That's it for Power Solutions today. Next week, Monday, we'll have another episode. And congrats again to those who got it. And that's why we're advising you, if you're young out there, look for how you can bring solutions, clean energy solutions. Man, there's a lot we need to do in that area. And that's why Power Solutions is here to bring you the information you need to carry on that line. Well, guys, so that's it. I've worked with Ruth Kadri, who's by my side right here, smiling like she's nice. She's not nice. Shout out to also Jasmine, to Dikbo Mowari, not forgetting Tosin Akinride, and not forgetting the man Tunde Abdusalam, who makes sure that every single feed from this side was streamed and it was online. Thank you, Tunde, for that. Guys, I'll be here again tomorrow, but the news is coming up in a matter of minutes. Stay blessed. Stay safe. My name is Collins. Teke.
Hello, my name is Abdul.